I have no idea what I'm doing with my life, and I think that's okay. A lot of people pretend like they have it figured out, and there's just this inner battle everyone has to fight. You know, a lot of people actually don't know what they're doing. Some people are just privileged to have things work out for them and whatever, but the point is that I don't even know what direction to go right now. I've always been so ambitious. I gave up on a lot of things along the way. I don't know if this is it imposter syndrome or what is it called? I don't know. I just there's a word for it. I made my research on that, but I forgot. There's a word for what I'm explaining, and I just feel like no matter what I do, I'm always going to be a failure. That's how I feel. There's a word for it, and I remember googling it, but I can't really remember. So I just take a step back and do nothing instead because I'm really tired. Most times I wake up very tired. I take naps during the day. I've always liked to take naps, but I feel like these days I'm extra tired. These days I'm extra tired, like physically, mentally, emotionally. I'm just down. And recently, I don't give a fuck about nothing anymore. Let everything go to shit. Let everything go to, I don't know, let everything go to hell. No matter what I do, no matter how much I worry, no matter how much I overthink, what will be will still be. And everything is just out of my control. Honestly, like I'm just drained from inside out. And currently, I mean, rent is due and I'm just chill. Like, it's not like I'm chill, but like, even if I'm not chill, what's gonna happen? I had a whole year to find the money, and all through the year, 2025 was hellhole for me. I feel like all of my life has been like a death race. I don't know what's worse than living in actual hellfire, like not hellfire, actual hell. Like you can't get out, and you just have to go through whatever it is. There's this saying that you can't run away from your troubles, you have to face it. And life will keep teaching you a particular lesson until you learn. I keep asking myself that I don't know, when am I going to stop learning? It's like my whole life is filled with lessons, and when am I ever going to stop learning? Like, I feel like the current situation with the stolen identity, I keep asking myself, I feel like I've learned something from it. I've taken the advantage, and I feel like maybe I've learned what life is trying to teach me, and I don't even know, honestly, because I literally just expect things to turn out fine after a particular time, and it just keeps dragging on, and I don't know when it's going to end. Sometimes I wish I could have a tarot reader or a card reader tell me the future, tell me if it's worth trying, tell me if it's worth keep going for. And I don't know, at this point I just want to see the future. I just want to see what's there, and but honestly, I don't have that energy to chase after my goals anymore. As much as I could say that, I still try my best, because I'm just that kind of person. I'm literally a perfectionist, and I just want everything to be detailed. I want everything to be perfect. I want everything to be in order. So I still don't rest. I'm very, very exhausted, and sometimes I just wish I was dead. Like every morning when I wake up, I just feel like, now what? I'm going to repeat the same thing I did yesterday. I'm so tired. I try to switch up my routine, do some things different, try out new food, try out new ways of cooking, try out new things. The only thing I look forward to when I wake up is just cooking and posting my videos, trying to grow my YouTube page, trying to become an internet person. I mean, the internet is one place that has also ruined me, and it has also made me. I don't think I've physically made the kind of money I made from the internet, and I think that's the way of life. Life is filled with good and bad. There's the left hand that people consider, especially the Yoruba people. When you hand them something with your left hand, they consider it rude. And there's the right hand that people feel like, okay, that's the best, and I mean that's the hand that does things better. And that's just how life is, that's just how everything is. There's like advantages and disadvantages. So I try my best not to dwell on the negative aspects, and but sometimes life just kicks it just kicks hard. It just keeps kicking you hard. It just keeps kicking you hard, and at the point you just feel like, what can I do? It's just like not everybody's gonna make it in this life. Some people would suffer and become rich later in the future. Some people will suffer till they die. Nothing is gonna happen. So I'm just going by the saying, you can't control everything, and focus on whatever you can control. I feel like right now I can't even control shit. As I said, I had a whole year to gather my rent, and even the landlord has become so disrespectful about it, talking about, but I'm just like extraordinary chill at this point. Like, let me see what's gonna happen. I feel like in the past I've had things figured out, with stress, with overthinking, reaching out to people I'm not supposed to talk to. I mean, recently I had a situationship, like a messy situationship that ended up like so messy. And the only thing I feel like I missed about this situationship is the financial gains. The financial gains. I don't want to keep saying, oh, you manipulated me with money, because I don't know, I need that money. And it's been stone cold, it's been so embarrassing. I was so reluctant to reach out. That's the only thing that I benefited from the relationship. I won't call it a relationship, I'll call it a situationship. That's the only thing that I feel like that's the only thing I actually benefited, because there's a reason why I finally had to let go at the point. Like, even reaching out is still making me feel, I don't know. But life is the way it is, not because we want it to be that way, but because maybe it has to be that way. I don't know. I really don't know. Sometimes I find myself questioning life a lot. Like, what is the reason? Like, what is the essence of all this? I waited and waited and waited. I tried, and one part of me is happy, because I feel like I hated that he was watching me. When I started YouTube, he mentioned that he saw a video where I was talking about him and this, and I was angry again. That, in fact, now I can't even link my socials, because I feel like people that are stalking me will just click on the links and go everywhere and have more places to stalk me on. So if you find me on TikTok, you might not be able to find me on YouTube, because I've not linked my YouTube, and I don't really use IG, and I deactivated my Twitter. But I'm trying not to link my pages, even though I really want to do that sometimes, so people can just know that, because of the impersonators, people can know the real accounts from the fake ones. But even the guy that was impersonating me, that has been impersonating me, because I'm not sure he has stopped, if subscribed to my YouTube, when I don't get notifications on YouTube, but I know he did, because the link was on my IG when he started stealing my medias from IG. I know he did. And I was following up with the subscriber count when it was still like 1, 2, 3 subscribers. I know 2 of my closest friends subscribe, and it was at around 3. There was a time he asked about my IG on TikTok, because this guy has been hiding. Before he actually revealed himself to me, he has been following me on TikTok. He'll comment on my post, he'll like my post, he'll repost. So one day he commented and was asking for my other social medias, because I deactivated Snapchat. I deactivated like almost all my social medias. So this is like targeted harassment. And talking about the situationship, I was just going through a lot, and I didn't want someone that I thought it was like an almost love situation, because the financial aspect, it just made my life easy. But every other aspect, it's just like I'm begging to be loved, I'm begging to be seen. An insecure man will do everything to destroy you. I don't really want to go into that, but it's just because I had to go beg him for some financial support, because there's nowhere else for me to go. And I feel like at the point, that was what he wanted. He has a savior complex, At the point, he just wanted to isolate me. I would want to go to my friends, and he would just want to be involved in everything. And now that is showing that, tough side, like, oh, I finally let you go. And this, that. All through last year, while I was trying to heal, while I was trying to move on, he kept coming back into my life. He kept stalking me, kept harassing me. He would check my Instagram stories as soon as I dropped a post, and sometimes I'll have to delete because I just feel watched. Even inside the house, I feel scared. I have nightmares. I don't even know. It's just a lot of trauma, and I wish I was not financially attached to him. But while we were together, it was always something about money, and it was always there. And I feel like some of these things can be intentional, because at first I might have found a way to, sort out myself before we got so close, before things got heated. It's just like when someone has a plan for you and they don't want to tell you directly what they are planning to do. I just realized that I'm being used as a rebound. I'm being used as like his therapist. At first, he would always say I'm there because of his ex-girlfriend left him, and he would say a lot of cruel things to me. Right now I keep questioning myself. Am I the villain? Did I let go of someone that is supposed to make a good impact on my life? That's something I'm dealing with all around that, because even in friendships too, which I'm going to get to, I don't want to confuse a lot of things, but I know I can be naturally indecisive, but I'm just really confused about a lot of things, and also trying to take a step back, because some of these people are not even worth it. I know deep down that if my business was going all right, if I had financial whatever, but this is not me. I'm not the first person to be in this kind of situation. I'm just trying to break free. I don't like to compare myself to other people. I like to see my situation for what it is, and no, because I'm not alone, so I should relax. No, I'm not going to relax. I'm going to try and make changes to my life. I know if everything was going good financially, I would only have to heal from the mental traumas and everything. This guy did everything to destroy my self-esteem. Before I finally lost weight, I feel like I've been working on my dream body, and I high-key love my body a lot better than before. But I was literally delusional. If you know me, about 2 years ago, I was bigger than this, and I did not know I was big. I did not know. Some of the clothes I had then, I still wear them now, and they are like my perfect size, and I keep wondering how they fit me at that time. I just squeezed myself into it. As a teenager, I used to be skinny, and up until like a few years back, so I used to be skinny until things got better, and I didn't know that I added a lot of weight. And there were good times that I was, the point is that I was delusional. I didn't know I was that big, and it always made me insecure. I had to purchase a weight loss pill at a point. I had to do everything to try to and the person I'm talking about is not skinny, is like times 10 bigger than me. But an ugly man would project his insecurity on you. I'm not trying to be abusive or nothing, but this is reality. Women are always allowing men to be what men would never allow you to be. Men would never allow you to be fat and ugly around them, and men like this, because he presents like he has a high standard and all that, they don't go for rich babes. They don't go for babes that have money, because how will you be able to control her? Keep saying it. You said, I don't want to dive into that, but I feel like up until recently, that's one thing that has also affected my life so much. About people impersonating me, stealing my identity. You see everything. That does not stop you from traumatizing me, saying all sort of things to me, and it's very painful. There's no how I can look past it. And I learned something recently, that if you don't sit with your pain, it is hidden. In fact, I feel like the universe tested my faith recently. I don't know if I should say this story, because I feel like this video is going to be too long. If you think that you're already healing from something, maybe you're just distracted. Something would happen to test you, to see if you have actually healed, or you're just masking it, or you're just pretending. So I feel like this is an opportunity for me to sit with all my pains, to sit with my problems, to sit with everything, to sit with the truths, so that I can finally heal and discover exactly who I am. Because personally, I don't like things that keep repeating itself. And this is something similar that's always happened in my life. I've never been the first choice. But learning patriarchy, learning how men's mindsets work and everything, I've learned not to internalize a lot of things they do. It is not me. It is not me, because recently we saw each other, and there's not much change. I feel like I've worked on myself. I've changed a lot, and I'm not comparing anything here, but he actually projected a lot of his own insecurities on me. Because why be with someone when your goal is to just pull them down? If I don't like someone, I always say this, I'm not going to be around them. In fact, I feel like I'm a very, very hateful person. If I don't like you, you're going to know. If I don't like you, I'm just passionate about everything. If I like you too, I'm going to take it to the next level, and then I'll start looking like a dumb bitch, an obsessive bitch, and whatever. But if I don't like you, you're going to know. In fact, I'm not going to keep you around. I felt so hated. But something that confuses me is always like this financial support, and but the absence of that would also scare me off of him, because yes, I'm a gold digger, and it's all about the money, survival, and all that. So of course, if he doesn't give me money, I won't be around. So I guess that was the leverage he had over me, and maybe like he still has, because I wouldn't lie to myself, there's nobody else I could go meet that would help out with any of my financial problems. And that makes me really sad, because I don't ever want to reach out to him. In fact, I was really reluctant, and I still wish that I would stop reaching out to him, because before he would pretend to be nice and kind, but it's no longer pretending. It's just very, very cold towards me. I don't believe in God, but I'm hoping in the universe that things will change quite soon, because there's nothing I can do. I've tried my best. People don't like complain, they like results. Yeah, but there's a time for everything, and this is probably my own time for whatever it is the fuck I'm going through. I don't know what to do anymore. A lot of things that I tried did not even, in fact, whenever I start trying to learn something, I'll just be like, you're too dumb for this. I wasn't so bright in school. At the time, I was bright. I was really good with my studies. When I was, I hate crowds, and when we're few in the class, I was very good with my studies. I was more focused. But in a school where we are like 16, more than 5 people in the class, I cannot focus on anything. And I used to have bad friends. I used to have a friend that was very, very mean to me. In fact, I feel like I've given up on everything. And recently, I have a friend, that seemed to be the one that never gave up on me. When I was trying to leave the situationship, my other friends were like, oh, don't leave because of the financial help. And I have a friend that is also in an abusive relationship, and she can't leave because she has a son, she has a child for this guy. And also, that's like a meal ticket. I'm not being rude or nothing, because I'm in a similar situation, just that me, I don't, I've been in similar situations all over. So this is not a diss, whatever. This is just, I feel like I'm very blunt. So I'm going to say things how they are, even if it has to do with my situation or other people's situation. I feel like that's why I don't have people around me, because I'm just too, realistic and all that. So she told me to stay and just, enjoy the benefits. And I was like, nah. I even defriended her. I felt like, nah, because you are in similar situations, I felt like, nah. I defriended her, and there was another one like that, so that told me the same thing. But the one that feels more closest to me, that I feel like she has been faking this friendship all our lives, since I met her, I feel like my spirit is not really going with her, because she does something sometimes. It's almost like she's in secret competition with me. Sometimes I just internalize a lot of these things, like maybe you're just not a good person yourself, because you keep pushing everybody away. But I feel like I don't push you away. I started pushing this guy away when he started telling me I'm not his type. He started talking about my belly, who admire women with flat stomach. Your sister don't have flat stomach. You're insulting me, you don't have flat stomach. All these subtle insults, subtle degrading things I don't do to you that you do to me, so painful. And talking about my friend, when I told her about this guy that is impersonating me, that was asking me for money, it's more or less like she was even making fun of me. The way she talks, it's not even like she shows any care. It's just like, oh, finally, you've come down from your high throne. Because I used to be very, very popular, very, very trendy, people patronize my business. I used to be like, things were really, really bubbling. And even she was so jealous of the relationship I had with the guy, the situationship. She was always asking me for his pictures. It got so irritating at the point that I stopped talking to her about him. Every time, oh, he bought you this, then she will show how much she's jealous. She's jealous, I even felt bad, at the point, because it's almost like it's preventing me from hanging out with her. Even though the day I posted about me having a video call with her, it was asking me what we were talking about, you know. It was just so deep. Like, if I start talking about that, I'm not even going to end this video, and I'm not exaggerating. But this is me having mixed feelings about this whole thing. I feel like I'm entirely isolated right now, and sometimes it's not a good thing. I mean, sometimes it brings peace and all that, but sometimes I feel lonely, and my loneliness is not coming from me being miserable. I just feel like maybe I might have pushed people away, and you know, but the people I pushed away, I still keep saying it, they're not people that have good intentions for me. This is my friend. Recently, she said something that pained me a lot. I was missing her one day, and you know, before then, I called her. Whenever I call her, she will hang up on me. When things got really bad for me, she just changed, and you know, she was just not there. And at the point, I was even like, maybe she's coming to gather information, because you think someone care about you because they ask you questions about things, and then it's just them gathering information about you, because it's not like she cares, you know. So there was something she said that day that I was like, what is wrong with this girl? Like, I don't want to tell you about anything again if this is the way you're going to make me feel, because after telling you, I even feel worse about the whole thing, you know. I talked about closing the spa, and the next thing you're asking me, are you going to sell all your things? Of course I'm going to sell them. Am I going to keep them in your house? Or like, it's just some, like, I don't want to go into details, but I also want to know if I'm not always overreacting. I just feel like she's not a real friend. And she made a statement recently, because she's outside, she started trying to tell me about the guy she's saying, like, oh, she's outside, oh, tables always turned, and me that I used to go outside before, I'm now inside. That why am I not going outside? I said, what kind of stupid question are you asking me? You know that I'm fucking broke. I'm literally looking for my rent money now, so which money am I supposed to go and use to stay outside? And aside that, the economy is very harsh. Sometimes you have to be calculative. Even when you have to be really calculative. Things are overpriced. What fun do I want to have outside I can't have inside my house? I told her about how I would buy wine, and you know, I like to cook my meals now that, you know, I'm trying to stay healthy and all that. But I don't feel loved ever, and I stopped seeking love. You know, I've stopped trying to look for love in weird places, but these people just pretend to be for me, and in the end they're just against me. A lot of people that cheered me on when I used to be very, very trendy on Twitter, I don't see nobody around me now, and I just feel betrayed. I feel disappointed by everybody, that I don't even believe anybody. If you tell me this is this, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. I feel like me being the villain people make me out to be. I don't even care. Honestly, I don't care to be a good person anymore, because being a good person has cost me so much. I'd rather be on the blunt side, rather be on the evil side, and face the world the way it is. The world is not gentle. If we are being honest, the world is not nice. It's better to protect yourself, especially as a woman, and I'm going to keep saying it, than to just end up like this. Is someone that used to, you know, at the point he noticed how delicious I was and how loved I was by some people, you know, and they will just make fake compliments that don't even make sense. I like the material of the clothes you're wearing, because maybe he notices my reaction whenever he admires other women in front of me, talking about I like her tits. Bro, your tits looks like, this is not even an insult. I'm not trying to body shame. This guy is, it's just like you're saying you're taking an ugly guy because of his personality. This guy is actually ugly. I'm not going to sugarcoat this, and I'm not pained right now, because I'm not, it's not even like, it's like I dodged the bullet for not being chosen. Men are lustful. Being in a relationship is like you've stolen their freedom. They will hate you so much if you show them any form of love. So this is not me being pained. This is me saying reality. The reason why I stuck there was because I felt wanted. The love bombed me at first, and I thought, okay, I finally found someone. Until the mask fell off, I actually thought I finally found someone. So please, this is not me being, I mean, it helped financially, but as people always say, not everything is about money. And even that money, I'm paying for it. I still cannot get out of the hell and trauma it put me through. Low self-esteem, a lot of things like that. Insult, subtle insult, embarrassing me in public. A lot of these things, not be small. Like, I cannot start saying everything now. So even my friend was like, bro, if he's talking about money, you deserve the money. The last time he sent me the receipt of all the money he has, trying to trap me in a relationship. But now I won't talk about it, because I feel like he has let go. He texted me one time and like, okay, I'm also going to move on, blah blah blah. I was like, okay, move on. But life is so dicey, and I think that's why they always say don't burn the bridges, because you might have to go back. I think I see why they always say that, because I mean, I never want to reach out to him ever again. It's not even like I've gotten what I needed, because of course he's detached now and he does not respond to me as a, I mean, you know, when someone doesn't like you anymore and maybe they've moved on, it's a win-win for me, because I hated him watching me, and you know, every time I want to post a video, I feel like this idiot is going to come here now and watch this video, and you know, maybe gather more information on what to insult me with next time, telling me that I'll never become anything, I rely on men. And you know, there are sometimes that you just have to use insults as skincare, just rub it on your skin. Deep down you know that you are not what they say you are. Nobody shows me any form of respect anymore, like, but I don't know, I feel like this is the society we live in. Everybody attach money to their value, and you know, that's just how life is. People don't respect you until you're rich and you know, you're influential, you have something to offer them, and it's just the way life is. Judging myself from other people's POV, I think they see me as a lazy person and an unserious person because of the kind of work, you know, business type that I do. And you know, honestly, we are all just humans, honestly, because you don't take a trash packer serious. A cleaner person is not treated the same way as a banker lady. So that's just life, and I don't even care what people see me like anymore. I just don't want, I'm very, very particular about people I have around me, and that's why I would take loneliness over having any kind of friend, any kind of circle. And that's why I'm never reluctant to let go. Even, you know, while I was talking to the situationship, and it was like, so are you going to go and talk to everybody that you know? That does not mean I need you for money, I need you for financial assistance. And that's why I'm even talking to you right now. I've had an inner reflection of the other friend that I was, you know, having issues with, and I had to let go. She doesn't really see me as a friend. She just takes from me. Like the last time she came to my house, I gave her so many clothes, and that was what she was after. You know, people just came close to me at that point because I had things going good. Let me come and benefit, let me come and take my own cake of my own slice of the national cake. All while she was with me, she was on call with our other friends. We did not have any conversation, the body language self is not, she's not, I can't call my friend, but you know, that's the term you use for like an acquaintance, that if you don't want to offend people, you call them, oh, my friend, someone I know. Literally what I'm always going to say, because I'm not quick to call people my friend. So I'm very particular about things like this. And honestly, I don't want to say I wish I don't need anybody, because I guess in the end we all just need a little help sometimes. I wish I was an actress, you know. I love to do a lot of things, and I know I have talents, you know. If I had a lot of money that could fund my lifestyle, I'm not saying I'm going to be a proud horrible person. I'll just be able to avoid some kind of connection that would not have leverage on, you know, people who are, anybody that has power to feed you has the power to starve you. So that's my point exactly. Like, I might not look like my problems right now, but you know, it's just what it is. And this is the reason why I'm in this business in the first place. I'm in this deep mess, because if you don't come from a nice home, if you don't come from a stable home, these are the things that you're bound to go through. I don't look around me and see billionaires. I don't look around my family and see someone that I can come and ask for anything. I was the one they relied on until I said enough is enough. I don't want anybody to leech off me anymore. At that point, I even had to push every fucking person away, because I can't reach out to anybody to help me right now and then they're going to help me. Well, I'm the only one people always reach out to help them. So I had to do a lot of inner reflection. It's not about, I just still have a bit of doubt, because it's almost like, okay, so is it everybody that is bad? I see myself asking myself a lot of questions, you know, just to be sure that, okay, I've not made some, you know, some kind of mistakes while trying to just have a normal life. I mean, nothing is normal about this life anymore, but I know something that, you know, madness is the loftiest, you know, intelligence, or intelligence is the loftiest of, I don't know, they go hand in hand. You don't have to fit in with the crowd. Everybody are doing what the next person is doing. Nobody really knows what they are doing in this life. So I don't feel bad, honestly. I don't feel bad. I just want to be sure that, okay, because I feel like, you know, when they say let something go if it belongs to you, I feel like I've passed this stage, you know. me going having to go back to beg for money again is paining my soul, is hurting my soul. Every night I just find myself saying a wish, saying a prayer to my heart, to the universe, to my Eleda, like, please just do something for me. I don't want to be disgraced. Going back to the same person that is telling me that you never be a feminist because I'm fighting for my rights not to be abused, telling me you will never be anything, you rely on men. You're all sort of disgusting. Oh my god, I had to swallow the stupid pride that I don't even know that. I don't know, I just had to swallow my pride. Just, bro, have you seen an hungry man? You are not only hungry, you are desperate. Poverty, and that's why I've always fought to liberty and all that, you know. So a lot of people see me as unserious, and I feel like if I want to have a friend, if I want to have people close to me, we need to share the same mindsets. Not people that silently judge me, silently put me down, and then when it is the right time to say stupid, hurtful words to me, they say it, they disguise it as a joke. They disguise it as, you know, say things to me that, you know, I'll never find myself saying to other people. This is not always okay about what I say to people. I might have said some things too that are not good, but, you know, there are levels to these things. And I started body shaming him when he started body shaming me too, you know, talking about you want to die in the gym, and I did not even know I was that big. That was how much I love myself. The self-love that I was giving myself. I was delusional. I thought I was size something. I was shopping online one day and the lady told me you are a size 2, and I'm like, what? This was years ago, and I was like, nah, I'm not a fucking I was even offended that she calling me fat. That was how much I was delusional. But this guy made me face reality. You are fat, you know, you're ugly, you're this, you're that, but you're still staying with me. You're stalking me. That's the most painful part, because now I'm thinking, okay, what could have made him withdraw? You know, I pushed him away a lot. You know, I was so hungry because I feel like if you hate me so much, why are you stalking me everywhere? Why are you obsessed with me, my friendship, my relationship with other people? You always want to input yourself in every of my fucking situation. I was so hungry because if I hate someone, I don't even want to hear your name around me. I was just so frustrated. But as I said, a win is a win. I don't feel watched anymore, I guess. I just hope he's not pretending, but I guess he doesn't watch my life anymore. And he's just acting withdrawn. In fact, if I tell him thank you, he doesn't even respond back to me. In fact, we had a big fight and he blocked me. I actually reached out to him through email. It is that bad. And you know, I don't feel like I lost anything, because if you ask me, do you want him back? Nah, I never had him in the first place. I never had him. I've always felt like a replacement. There was even a time he would act like he was asking me about his ex, asking me advice, and if you want to talk, he would just ignore you, and it was just so painful. It was just so painful. He was just treating me as a spare tire, and no, I don't want him back. I don't want anything that I've lost that is not valuable. The only valuable thing I want is my identity, my money, my cash flow, things that will value my life, not things that will make me hate myself. I don't hate myself. I love myself so much. Now I work on my body, I work on my health. I'm very strict with my diet, very strict with a lot of things. As I said, I'm a perfectionist. I literally punish myself for my own mistakes. So what do you think I'm going to do to you if you try to hurt me or if you try to pull me down? I'm going to do like more than maybe times 2, and I'm actually very, very hard on myself. So I feel like my being lazy and relaxed right now is justified. And I only know my story. Only me know my story. I don't quite care about what people think. I just don't want to get to the extreme, to the point whereby I'm now pushing maybe innocent people away, or people, I don't know, honestly. I don't think any one of these people are innocent. I don't mind never finding my people, but I want to find my money. I know if I'm rich enough to fund my hobbies, to fund my lifestyle, I'll be at peace with myself. A lot of people are alone, not because they can't have friends. And depression comes to people who have friends around them, lots of friends. People commit suicide and you ask yourself, what happened? There was a celebrity that committed suicide years ago, and I still kept asking myself, because I had to make a research about her. She was so pretty. She was so, oh my God, you have family, you have friends, you have money, you have fame. I find myself asking, what happened to her? What happened to her? What happened? Because it was so painful. I feel like if I have this level of success, nothing will make me feel sad anymore. But that's just how life is. Having people around does not guarantee anything. So I'm telling you, not because I want to be like this, but my experience has already built me brick by brick, and life has taught me that. I felt betrayed when someone that will call me beautiful this moment is calling me all sort of names the next moment. In fact, It is the little things I could bring out of the messages he sent me. I had to delete a long message that he sent to me so that I won't go back to it and be reading it, you know. I had to delete. He said a lot of things to me. So these are the kind of people I just don't want in my life. But right now, I'm just here, living life without direction, without nothing, and it does not mean it is the end. It does not mean it is the end. Sometimes I get bored to the point that even if I'm lazy to work out, even if I'm sore from the previous day workout, I'm still going to work out. I don't know what it is teaching me, maybe to be more disciplined. I don't know. But I've just learned to sit in whatever it is, because no matter what I still do, nothing. No matter what I still do, it only stressed me the most. 2 weeks ago, I was having a horrible, deadly headache. And I was saying to myself, if this persists the following week, I'm going to go to the hospital. The other side is like, where is the money? Is it the money I'm going to use to stock up food in the house, buy data for the internet? I kept trying to manage it. Something else is going on in my body that I'm just, I try to take care of myself, because every time you go to the hospital, they want to ask you, when was the last time you saw your period? Everything about women's health is probably she's pregnant or something, so they might not even treat my real, what is it called. So I'm tired of wasting my money also in the hospital, money that I don't have. So I just try to take care of myself, look after my health and whatnot. But I think sometimes it's also good to enjoy your bask in your nothingness. It just gets boring sometimes, and you might want to question yourself and compare your life to other people's lives. I don't know if she's my friend or not, because she appears to be my friend and I really like her. Honestly, she's been supportive, but I just don't know, because evil people, jealous people, envious people, people who have bad intentions can be nice too. Maybe I watch too much of movies, but I hate regretting things. In fact, what happened recently is something that I've corrected myself on, not to tell people about myself. I told someone about myself recently to validate her, because she was telling me about her insecurities, and I told her that I used to be bigger than this before. And I told her a lot of things, how I just I'm just a free person right now. Like, I don't care about people's judgment anymore, how I do things, and something happened, and she just used things I told her against me, and I felt like, are you stupid? This is a new year, and about me saying, okay, I don't want to, you just did the same thing again. But just to give humanity a benefit of doubt, just to give this new girl a benefit of doubt, and that's what ends up happening again. So me saying, okay, I don't want to be this way anymore, it keeps happening and happening and happening. You don't know what to trust. Even this whole YouTube thing, sometimes I think, what do I tell YouTube people? I have to make them know me, and sometimes I want to talk about advices, how to go through life, but you can't feel, you can't give from an empty space. I'm still working on myself, and I don't want to be an hypocrite coming to the internet to give advices to people. Sometimes I just have to talk about the things I've been going through. One of the reasons why I deactivated my Twitter, because I was always going there to talk about myself, and a lot of people felt like they knew me and used so many things about my life against me. I'm just learning to take things slow, and I don't know.